Okay. Let's take a look. Algebra 2, 2.7, continuing with linear combinations on the instructional videos dealing with the elimination process. We're now on step 2. So if you look up in the right-hand corner, you can see in purple that that's what we found after doing step 1, right? So now we're going to pick 2 more problems. So in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick these 2 equations right here. And I'm going to pit these 2 against each other now. So I'm going to say that 2x plus y plus z equals 1. Okay? And again, I want to get rid of z here. Well, if I notice, then when I look right here, all right, if I notice on the first one here, 2x, I end up with a plus z, correct? But take a look now where I have a negative z right here. So this positive and negative z, they're going to eliminate themselves on their own. So all I really need to do now is just go ahead and write the equation. Before, I had to come up with a number and I had to multiply it by -1, right? Well, I don't need to do that now. And the reason I don't have to is because I already have a negative z right here, as you can see where I'm writing. And so it's going to end up taking care of itself. I don't have to become creative or overthink or anything like that to make this happen. And so what I want to do now is I want to just take, now that I have them kind of where they need to be, I'm going to go ahead and just solve them out. And I'm going to say, okay, well, 2x and -3x is going to give me -x. And then my plus y and my -2y, okay, well, that's going to land me on -y. And then plus z and -z, right, these are going to go ahead and cancel each other out. So then I'm left with nothing but equals 1 plus 1, so that equals 2. So that one was pretty simple, wasn't it? Step 2 finishes me out right there. I just end up with, let me put it in blue so it's all consistent. So I simply end up with -x minus y equals 2. Okay? And that's all there is to that. So take a look at that and see if you can see how that landed. Go ahead and pause and look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on with step 3 now, right? That was step 2. So let's take a look at step 3. All I'm going to do now is I want to take in this situation, and I've got to look at some different things. And I can notice if I look at what I came up with on step 1, and I look at what I came up with on step 2, notice how I have a positive y on step 1, right? -x plus y equals -4. And then in step 2, I have -x minus y equals -2. So let's see what happens when I put those equations up against one another. Because what I'm really doing here is I'm eliminating another variable, right? I got rid of z in both of those. But now as I say -x plus y equals 4, okay? From step 1, what I came up with that in there. And now I take and I use my next step, which was step 2, and I say -x minus y equals 2. In doing that, what I can determine and see is that the positive y and the negative y are going to eliminate one another. So now I'm able to eliminate a second variable. And so if I when I solve these eliminate one another. So then I end up with -x and -x, which gives me a -2x, and that's going to be equal to a, I need to go back. If you remember, this was a -4. I'm sorry, I put a 4 in there, but it's actually a -4. So I say -4 and 2, which gives me a -2. So I have a -2x and equals a -2. So now I'm just going to divide out, because I want to get x by itself. I divide out the -2. These cancel. X equals, right, -2 into -2 is a 1. So now in step 3, I was able to determine that x was equal to 1. And I was able to do that by using what I came up with in step 1 and what I came up with in step 2. After I eliminated z, I was able just to put those against one another, and because the y's eliminate each other, leaving me with x by itself. So take a look at that. If you need to watch this part of the video again, go ahead and do so. And we will do video 3, which will help us finish out the problem. Good luck.